Everything that you perceive about yourself from your past, it doesn't exist right now. You're just sitting here. So if you take a deep breath, you might have these little images of what your past story is, like things that happen to you, things that you feel reactions to, whatever. But if I actually realize that everything that I think I am from past accomplishments or future accomplishments or that I have as goals or whatever are not me, that I'm just this space that those ideas show up in, then often they might leave. If you have an intention, that's an inner, in the moment goal, right? And life can mirror what your intention is. So let's say you're feeling off. If your intention is, I'm here to grow, then feeling off might be okay, right? So if you say, my inner intention is to learn, my inner intention is to free myself, my inner intention is to whatever, that's what you are right now. It's a word that you can bring to you. It's something that's different. Many people don't realize they all have intentions, but they haven't created it themselves intentionally. So they might say, you know, I'm worried right now, and their inner intention might be to not have conflict. So then they're against that worry and they're actually scared, right? So an intention is what I like to bring with me. But because my intention is patience, I stay with it and say, okay, I'm not supposed to just get results in 3 days, I'm supposed to stay with it. And then bigger results usually show up as a byproduct of you being that intention, being that space. So to me, an intention's way bigger because you don't know what the results are gonna be. But you change with an intention. You become a different person. You see the world differently after a while. So I don't like goals that much because goals are often created from you in that egoic state. You get what I mean? Like in the state you're in, like everything you're thinking right now, the biggest goal you can see for yourself still brings in your past story. So your past story might think, I'm someone, for instance, just to give a measurable thing. Let's say you're someone who makes $20,000 a year and you want to create a goal for next year. So the biggest you're going to see is like, I'll make 30,000 next year. Yeah, but you're just this moment. What you and I and Oprah and Trump and anyone you can think of, we're all the same thing. Infinite possibilities, just heart, lungs, potential in this moment right now. And if you undo yourself from the old story, then you can change really fast. Everything that you perceive about yourself from your past, it doesn't exist right now. You're just sitting here, right? So if you take a deep breath, you might have these little images of what your past story is, like things that happen to you, things that you feel reactions to, whatever. But if I actually realize that everything that I think I am from past accomplishments or future accomplishments or that I have as goals or whatever are not me, that I'm just this space that those ideas show up in, then often they might leave, right? Let's say you have a thought, no one likes me because no one liked me at that one thing in the past. Okay, who's saying that? It's just a thought. It's not you. It's a thought that comes from evidence of one thing in the past, but that doesn't mean that's you, right? So that thought shows up and you just let it be there. One thing I love to do with people is when they say I'm nervous or I'm scared or anything that feels like a negative thing, I have them say, and I love that afterwards. So if I said right now, I have no idea how this interview is gonna go, and I love that, all of a sudden I'm free. Right? If I think I have no idea how this interview is going to go and that scares me, then I'm going to be entangled, right? And the problem isn't the thought, it's your resistance to the thought. So where are these thoughts coming from? They're just thoughts that we have, these things that we think. And usually we think that those thoughts are bigger than us and then we resist them. So I don't know if that answers your question, but what I realize is that all those things that we think we are that feel limited, you know, I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, I'm scared. All those things that we think we are the only thing we have as evidence of that is our past, right? I'm not enough because that one time. Everything that comes in and hears me say that you're just infinite, that you're amazing, when you hear a voice go, he doesn't know my story though. My story, my past, it's not what you are. Is whenever you let go of something scary, you're only scared because your mind can measure what you will lose, but it can't see what you'll gain. So your mind just remembers one person, but it can't see what's on the other side of it. And that's no different to me than getting on an elevator. When you get on an elevator, it's a dark, closed room. Just like when you meditate sometimes, your visions of what you were disappear and you feel darkness. But that doesn't mean because these doors are closed that there isn't a whole new world on the other side about to open up. So when you feel lost, you're really in a problem of you're just addicted to seeing the old story.
What if you were allowed to fail? What if you were allowed to be unworthy? What if you were allowed to be broke? What if you were allowed to be shamed? That doesn't mean you're aiming for shame on the external, but you're telling the child inside that even if it doesn't go right, even if you're shamed, even if you're unloved, even if nothing happens the right way, you're still with it. That's love. I'm with you. That's love. I'm with you. I don't mean codependently. I mean, I'm with you. I see you. I can see the boy if he's hiding. He thinks I'm not seeing him. He has the safety of he could hide in the corner and that I'm still present and still just with him. I'll just sit outside of the bedroom door and just be with him while he's hiding in the corner, and I'll just be out here, right? Or he can perform in front of me and I love it. Can you do that with your kid? I love you even if you fail. I love you if you don't know what to do. I love you if you're confused. Oh, right? There's a lot of people you're going to hear this weekend go through things like, well, I'm confused or I don't know what to do. That implies you have a pattern that you're only loved if you do the right thing, which means you're taking love away if you're not doing something. So we're just saying, I'm going to take love away when we say you're loved for what you do. So take away the sentence, I don't know what to do. Our pain is that we're not living in a true world. Guilt is not a true world. Let's talk about what guilt is. Guilt is you grabbing onto a thing that you now wouldn't prefer to do. That's it. But you needed to do the thing to understand now that you wouldn't do the thing. So when you grab onto it and feel guilty about it, you think you're going to never do it again, but you're setting yourself up to do it again over and over and over because you're attaching yourself to it. This is my identity, that mistake I made. So now you're shaming yourself, and the only way out of the shame is to do it again. So if you feel guilt, my offer to you is ask this moment if it gives a shit about the thing you feel guilty about, and notice that it's fine, and notice that guilt is your way of not accepting what's true now. So guilt is your denial of what's true. That's still true, no matter how much you deny it. Right? So you're just in a world that's in an argument with what is. Now, what happens if you accept what is? Now you're in harmony with what is. You realize that if you're in a war with what is, even if you're egoically trying to change it, if you're in a war with what is, it's you versus the world. You're egoically going to change it. It's really a 5-year-old version of you that's going to change it, and trying to make it whatever feels safe for you so it doesn't feel like your childhood again. Yet, if you start to align with what is and own what is, you will be shocked at how much the world wants to heal itself through you.